Throughout history, there have been countless unexplainable stories, events, and moments captured on audio. These horrifying tapes were archived, never to be heard again. Until now. These are the tapes of trepidation. Tape number 67, Floater. It's hard to know how long I've been drifting, bobbing, ebbing, flowing with the mostly gentle current. The fact that I know anything at all boggles the mind that I should no longer have access to. It feels like an eternity ago, the point at which I wasn't soaking wet. In fact, I'm not totally sure I remember what it was ever like to be dry. Despite the horrible feelings in my gut, the bloating and the pressure, I don't feel any real discomfort. Not like before, at least. The worst thing I'm capable of remembering is also my strongest recollection. Everything before it feels like a conjured dream, with details that don't quite add up. Like a puzzle with improperly shaped pieces. I think at some point I was in love. But maybe that's just the gas. That terrible aforementioned memory is what, I suppose, led to me becoming so wet. I remember thrashing, turning to splashing, screaming, turning to gargling, and a strange, salty taste in my mouth. My feet felt as though they were entombed in concrete. A nemesis to my own body. All that movement, struggling in action, all for nothing. God, how I wish I could move even just the tiniest bit. I'd absolutely love to turn my head, to be able to take in my surroundings. But honestly, I'd settle for a twitch of my pinky. To paraphrase the Lizard King himself, I was down so goddamn long that everything looked like up to me. I knew, once I woke in this state, which way was up in a literal sense, as it was the opposite of where my body lay. That is, until the gas pains, if you can truly call it pain. Shifts and changes, twists and turns of the current liberated my shackled feet. I'm not sure how. I couldn't so much as squeak my eyeballs half an inch downward to see anyway. I felt myself rising, ascending from the darkness to the strange light that tickled my peripherals for what felt like an eternity. driven upward by my gut. I was certain that I was shedding my moral coil. And yet, that certainty betrayed me. As I gracefully bobbed above the surface, I swear I felt a retching in my lungs. It seemed as though they hadn't received the memo from the rest of my body yet. Nothing filled my chest but briny fluids. Somehow, I found it hard to care. Now, I see the sky. It's all I've seen for an immeasurable span of time. While not terribly exciting, it's so much better than the alternative. A short while after my body emerged from its watery metamorphosis, a particularly cruel tide caused me to flop into my belly, limp, like a rag doll. I was powerless to resist. Robbed of the serene blue above me, all I received in return was the haunting depths from which my body escaped. A dark, unforgiving abyss. Sight is all I have, and thus I hungered for stimulation. I've considered how I'll finally end, and what will give me release from this passive prison. But for now, I satisfy my mind with the views. Although, I wish I could see something new for a change. But lo, my prayers are answered. Something snags my leg briefly, turning me to face the mass I float towards. Land ho! I can almost smell the sweet sense of a forested land on the breeze. Feelings I didn't know I had have begun to wash over me. Tall, lush, and beautiful green foliage looms overhead. It's a testament to nature's artistic virtues, contrasted against the sky. The land under me, presumably sand, crutches and shifts as the tide gently places my body on the shores before receding once more. Perhaps this will be my new home for a while. Plenty of sights to take in. But I can't help but wonder how much longer I'll be stuck in this body. Suddenly, something catches my eye. If only my eye could follow. A shifting. Something moving in the nearby shrubbery. All thoughts of release wash away as I hear a squeaky whine. A small dog-like creature, maybe a coyote, appears in front of my sideways bent head. A paw lands squarely on my sternum as more of the beasts come into view. The first one's snout is right in front of my face, blocking my view. All I see is saliva dripping down pointed fangs as I feel a small twitch in my pinky finger. This has been tape number 67, Floater, by the Tapes of Trepidation Horror Narration Podcast. Floater was written by Tewahway. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. And was originally posted on the Creepypasta Wiki. Story is available on your Creative Commons by Share-alike license. Narration, production, and sound design for this episode was by TJ Hodder. Credits for music and additional sound design can be found in the show notes. The Tapes of Trepidation theme was written by the incredible J.M. Scherf. All logos, banners, overlays, and graphic design work was provided by the talented Jason Reese from Jaybird Digital Arts. If you have a story you would like to submit or a question regarding the show, please contact us at tapesoftrepidation@gmail.com. Support the show by subscribing and leaving a rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, your favorite podcatcher, or like and subscribe on YouTube. And be sure to tell your friends. Word of mouth is extremely helpful to a podcast like this one. And check us out on social media through the link tree in the show notes. We have Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. If you'd like to support the show a little more, consider joining the Tapes of Trepidation Patreon. With as little as $5 a month, you can gain access to monthly bonus short story / micropasta narrations, the weekly behind-the-scenes podcast within the archive, and more. There's tons of content on the Patreon that you guys are going to enjoy. So check it out if you're interested. And join us in being trapped within the archive. Just like my current patrons, Neil Skarupa of Neurotic Voice, Doozer Pindan, Ronan Kumori, Eric Phones, Patrick Stewart, Madam Strangeways, Dr. Torment, and Tori. Thank you all so much for the support. It really means the world to me to have you guys here. All content used on Tapes of Trepidation is either original, used with permission, or is available under Creative Commons Share-alike license. All rights reserved, unless otherwise stated. Licensing information can be found in the show notes. This podcast and its content may not be redistributed or rebroadcasted without the express written consent of Tapes of Trepidation and the story's author. Thank you so much for listening.